Welcome to the Martin Bailey Photography Podcast. It's July 12, 2024, and this is episode 838. Today I'll walk you through the second half of my Japan Winter Wildlife Tours for 2024, and at the end we'll hear the comments from the guests on both tours. We finished last week as we ended our time with the red-crowned cranes, and this week we move on to the hooper swans at Kushiro Lake, and then to the Steller sea eagles and white-tailed eagles around the Naosu fishing port on the eastern side of the Shiretoko Peninsula. With the oppressive Japanese summer heat already bearing down on us with full force, it was nice to recall the chill in the air as we worked in the field up in Hokkaido, Japan's northernmost island. After photographing the red-crowned cranes, we enjoyed some relaxing shoots with the hooper swans. One involves a panning technique that gives us an excellent blurry background and blurry legs and feet on the swans as they run along the water. This photo from the first of the two tours shows how we had a bit of colour reflecting in the water. The lake wasn't frozen all the way to the shore on this tour, as sometimes happens, but having the lake fully frozen hasn't happened really for a few seasons now. I have many shots with one or two bodies in, so I quite like these days to try and pull back a little on my zoom and get more birds in, as you can see in this second photo. There was still a bit of warmth in the sky, but as you can see there was a mist over the ice where the lake was frozen, adding a nice atmosphere to the shots. I generally adjust my aperture and ISO so that I can set the shutter speed to around a 40th or a 50th of a second, which is a great speed to capture the movement that you see in these shots. We do, of course, get a lot of images where the birds' heads are not sharp, and although they can be pleasing to look at, it's always nice to get a small percentage of images with sharp heads like these that I'm sharing today. On the second trip, we had a thin layer of ice that reflected the warmth of the sunset, as you can see in this third panning image of a single hooper swan. I shot all of these with my Canon RF 100 to 500mm lens, and the focal lengths used range from 128mm for the first and second images, and 186mm for this shot. We also visited the lake straight after an early breakfast in the hope of catching some groups flying in, and we were lucky enough to get just that on a few mornings. This is my favourite example image of such a fly-in. I like to include the line of trees to the right of the beach at Tsunayu where we shoot, and on this morning we were treated to a little snow, which I always enjoy. A little later, I got this shot of a pair of swans landing in the snow together, with their wings still held out in braking position and the snow being kicked up around their feet as they touched down. I like the dynamic feel of this shot. They went on to honk at each other while bowing their heads, and I have some nice shots of that too. But we need to move on to the sea eagles, so here goes. I love capturing the sea eagles catching the fish that we throw out for them from the water, causing this kind of splash. I sometimes accidentally cut off the wing tips, but I enjoy getting them cropped this tightly in camera rather than pulling back and cropping the image later. I crop some photos, especially when the birds are farther away and my zoom won't enable me to fill the frame with them, but this kind of close shot is very satisfying to achieve without a crop in post. One morning we had some nice formations in the sea ice, and I was lucky enough to get this shot of the two stellar sea eagles trading places on top of a pinnacle of ice, with a splash of blue in its shadow. A third eagle was sitting lower on the ice to the left, but he was a bit distracting, so I cloned him out in Capture One Pro. People often ask how much of my processing I do in Capture One Pro instead of jumping into Photoshop, and they are sometimes surprised to learn that I do almost all of my processing in Capture One Pro. I may take one out of a few thousand final selects into Photoshop, so it's less than 0.1%. That is one of the big attractions to me, as I can keep my images in their original RAW format. Of course, the fact that the image quality is head and shoulders above Lightroom is the main reason I continue to use Capture One Pro. I also enjoy it when we get an eagle flying straight towards our boat, especially when they're making fists, like this one, who looks like he's simply flying around looking for a fight. This next eagle was banking on the ice, holding him afloat more than it did, and sunk more than expected as he reached for the fish. I love the water streaming off the fish in this shot. I have 3 or 4 more frames of him actually rising out of the water, but this is my favorite because of that water running off the fish. While we're in Nauru for the sea eagles, we drive down to the Notsuke Peninsula most afternoons, and we were treated to some nice patterns made by the wind-blown snow and the black sand on the beach there. The wind blew through the tetrapods, forming these beautiful patterns that looked almost like cream melting into coffee in a TV commercial. I rarely share non-wildlife images from this trip, but I couldn't resist doing so with this shot. Okay, so that's our 10 images, but now I'll play you the comments from both groups that I recorded as we ended each tour. I have never had to wait this long to create the travelogue episodes from my tours, so it was a real trip down memory lane to listen to these fine people again as I prepared this episode. Let's see. Okay, we're recording. Haha. So we're now on the bus at the end of the first of my 2 winter wildlife tours for Hokkaido. This winter of 2024, is it? So we're going to go around the bus and get a quick comment from each of the guests. So, Patrick, would you like?
Patrick O'Brien from London. This is the best organised trip I've ever been on. It's definitely the best photo tour, and Martin is the most helpful photographer in terms of settings and advice on any trip I've been on.
Oh, thank you.
Liesl Esposito, Las Vegas. I'm going to start by saying that compared to all of you, I am the indisputably in the embryonic stage of photography, fledgling, so to speak, or pun intended. My interests are derivative from Tony's and low level at that. But so I came into this trip full of angst, but I leave full of hope and positive memories. The camaraderie has been remarkable, as the kindness of everyone who have shared their time so generously to me in teaching me and sharing some tips. So collectively, you have allowed me to see the possibilities of photography, and I thank you for that.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lynn Necrason, and I had some questions whether I might be able to make this trip, as I'm not definitely the youngest one here by a long shot. And it turned out to be wonderful. The opportunities were there for me. And the the sea eagles were more than I expected I would enjoy. They were wonderful, and seeing the country and Japan and the food and and the authentic places that we stayed were very, very cool. But last but not least was Martin, Yukiko. I called her Yuki, and let's see if I get it. Oburo-san? Okubo-san. I thought I'd get it. Have been absolutely helpful, delightful for this older person, and been very watchful and just extremely compatible. But also all of the people that I've met here, the Australian ladies and the gents, and of course my 2 surrogate husbands that we have to refer to.
Yeah.
But no, that's been a delightful trip, and I'm so glad I made it, and I'm excited to look forward to all the pictures that we were able to get. So thank you, Martin.
Not
You're
at
the
all.
best. You're
Thank you.
well organized is absolutely true. Very
thank
well
you.
organized.
Thank you very
Yes, very
Thank
well.
you.
Margaret Metcalf from Australia. I'd like to thank Martin and his team, Yukiko, and our drivers have been absolutely sensational. It's been a trip of not only photographic opportunity, but also learning of cultural differences and history here in Japan. The opportunity to shoot wildlife, landscape has been much more than I expected. And thank you for such wonderful help and inspiration along the way. It's been wonderful. Thank you, Martin.
Not at all. Thank you.
Vicky Cleghorn, Australia. Same. Thank you very much, Martin, for firstly your friendship, coaching. The photography opportunities have been just out of this world.
Oh, brilliant.
To Yuki and our bus driver, we couldn't have had 2 better people, and and it just shows your professionalism in what you do. As everybody said, the organisation has just been amazing, and to learn the culture, your experience and knowledge on the Japanese culture and everything has just opened our eyes to the rest of the world. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And to everybody else, the friendship that we've made, the friends we've made on this trip has been, hopefully we'll keep in contact forever.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Frank Clemenson from Raleigh, North Carolina, and far beyond the excellent wildlife photography, I've been super impressed with the locations and the cultural immersion and the value of this trip.
Don't know what to say. Abbott Schindler from Oregon, and everybody else has pretty much said it. This has been a great trip, Martin. Thank you.
Hi, this is Bob Blum from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. And I knew it was going to be a terrific trip because I was in Namibia with Martin a few years back. And so I knew this was be as good or better. I love every aspect. Yukiko, our bus driver, you, all the help. But it's always a learning experience, and you're a great teacher. Great sights, and I love Japan and hope to come back again.
Excellent. Thanks, Bob. Here we go.
Yvonne Hill here from Geelong in Australia. The trip has been amazing. Loved every minute of it, from the snow monkeys to the cranes to the sea eagles. Everything's been fantastic. Again, we're so well organised, and Yukiko and the bus driver has been fantastic and always helpful. You've been so professional, Martin. It's been fantastic, and hopefully I'll be able to come on another tour sometime soon.
Great.
Thank you.
Excellent. Tony.
Yes, I'm Tony Yun. I'm from New York City. This trip is well organized, and the photographic shooting locations are well chosen. The hotels are good. Yukiko's service is excellent. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bruce.
Hi there, I'm Bruce Leventhal from Stillwater, Minnesota. I came for the wildlife photography and am leaving with so much more. Fantastic appreciation now for Japanese culture. As everybody has said, you could never want a better organized trip with a better tour leader and tour staff. this is beyond expectation, and I'm looking forward to taking another trip with Martin and his team in the future.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, sorry, Martin.
Hi, I'm Mark Rigler. I'm from Santa Cruz, California. I've wanted to see Japanese cranes dancing in the snow for about 50 years now, and I probably could have done it on my own, but doing it with Martin was allowed me to develop photographic skills that I never had before. Shooting manual, where I would previously always shoot aperture priority, and getting better pictures as a result. The tour is beautifully organized, and Martin's inimitable talent in choosing places to stay and places to eat makes it a wonderful way to tour a really beautiful island, Hokkaido.
Thank you. Tony.
Tony Esposito from Las Vegas. I guess we're the only ones traveling as a couple. But I'd like to thank you personally for your patience and perseverance. And of course, Yukiko. She was brilliant. A bus driver whom I don't know his name, unfortunately, but he's also been very diligent and safe. I know there's been a long hiatus between when we originally planned this prior to the pandemic until now. So I thank you for our communications. There's a silver lining in that, being that the yen rate has deteriorated against the dollar. So there was a silver lining. But most of all, I think I reiterate a lot of the comments that were said previously. But not only was it a brilliant photographic experience, but it was a cultural experience too. And even though I've lived in Japan before, this has really reinforced my respect and of the uniqueness of Japanese culture.
Oh, excellent. Thank you very much. So let's get a quick comment from Yukiko as well.
I'm Yukiko Higuchi from Yokohama, and I really enjoyed everything of this tour. And I would like to say thank you very much for everyone, your cooperation and kindness to me. Thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing you again.
Excellent. So finally, from me, just thank you so much. You've been an excellent group, and I won't forget any of you in a hurry unless I start to go senile, which may be on the cards. You never know. But really, thank you so much. It's been an excellent trip from my perspective as well. And let's finish with a round of applause for our excellent driver, Okubo-san. Okubo-san, arigatou gozaimashita.
Wonderful. Okay, so that's the first group. Here's what the second group had to say.
So here we are at the end of the second wildlife trip in Japan for 2024 and the third trip for me. So it's been a good season. I've got an amazing group with me again. Pretty incredible that I've had 3 incredible groups this year. So I'm happy, and I hope everyone else is. Let's start with the comments. So Alan, please.
Hi, I'm Alan from the Isle of Man. I've been on this trip for nearly 2 weeks, and I've had a fabulous time, even though I'm a non-photographer. It's been great to see what Hokkaido has to offer, and I've really enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you.
Hi. I'm Sue from the Isle of Man. I am the photographer, Alan's the Sherpa. The trip has been amazing. We've had a real insight into Japanese life using the ryokans and the private onsens, not the public ones. The wildlife was fantastic, and the camaraderie of the other people on the bus made the trip.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. Here we go.
Hello, I'm Amadeo from Spain. Very nice trip, beautiful landscapes, beautiful pictures, nice guide, learning a lot about photography. So I'm very happy.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. So.
Hi, I'm Sonia from Madrid, Spain. I enjoyed really a lot this trip. Thanks to Martin and Reiko for this, also for the group. Really nice group, and the trip of all the animals, all the landscape, everything amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Wayne.
Hi, I'm Wayne from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and it's been an absolutely fabulous trip, Martin, and I look forward to maybe meeting you in future trips too.
Oh, excellent, thank you. You want to say something?
I'm Linda Vaughn. I'm from Minneapolis also. And it's been a wonderful trip. It's, yes, just wonderful.
Okay,
That's
thank
all.
you.
Just edit that out.
No, it's fine.
Hi, I'm Parina from Melbourne, Australia. The trip exceeded my expectations. The wildlife was spectacular. The scenery was spectacular. It was incredibly well organised. And we had a pretty good leader as well. Thanks, Martin.
Thank you.
I'm Lynn from Melbourne, Australia as well, and I love this trip. Japan is just amazing. The wildlife is incredible. The scenery. Martin's trip is so well organised and yeah, wonderful time, wonderful people. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Christine.
Hi, I'm Christine Nguyen. I'm from California, and I really enjoyed the trip to Japan. And thanks to Martin, Rico, and the driver, was excellent. Put everything together, and we have amazing time with all the little family at the 12 days. Thank you, Martin.
You want to say a few words?
Hi, I'm Juan from Spain, and this is my second tour with Martin. And as usual, it was very well organized. And what I appreciate the most is that Martin is not only a good photographer, but also he teaches very well, and he shows us how to get the most of our equipment and the situation. So I think that I'm very glad because I come back with, I think, very good photographs.
Oh, that's excellent. Thank you, man. You want to, Yolanda?
Hi, I'm Yolanda from Spain. And for me, it's also the second time in Hokkaido and the second time with Martin. So you see that I'm repeating, and this is because both the island and the guide are fantastic, and the experience is unforgettable.
Thank you very much. William, you want to say something?
Oh, hi, I'm William from Houston, Texas. Martin, you're a great guy. I will be back to see you next year. That's it.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to it. So, Nick, you want to say something?
Hi, my name is Min from Virginia, USA, and this is my first time with Martin in Japan tour, and this is a great tour, and I will be back with Martin in the future. Thank you.
Okay, almost to the end.
Yeah, my name is Kim Lei. I'm from Maryland, USA. This trip from Martin is great, and I never had before, so I'm very happy with the trip, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Rico, would you like to say a few words?
Hi, this is Rico. I live in Ichikawa City, and I hope you enjoyed this trip, and I look forward to see you again. And thank you for everything. Arigato and gracias.
Have a seat.
Have a seat. Okay, please. Thank you.
Good. So, really, thank you very much. Let's give our driver, Sakaguchi-san, a round of applause as well, just to finish off. So, Sakaguchi-san, arigatou gozaimashita. Okay, thanks, folks.
Wow, what amazing people. It was so much fun to travel with these folks. I hope to do so again at some point. If you'd like to join me on one of my tours, please check availability on the tours page, which you can find at mbp.ac/tours. In the next episode, I'll probably start to walk you through my Namibia tour, which I ran in May, and then we'll start to get into some of the other things that I'm up to since moving to our new home in the Gunma Prefecture. Thanks very much for listening today. If you enjoy this podcast, please consider supporting us on Patreon at mbp.ac/Patreon. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn and Threads. And links to everything that I'm up to are at martinbaileyphotography.com, so do drop by and take a look. I'll be back soon with another episode, but in the meantime, you take care and have a great week, whatever you're doing. Bye bye.